All right, good afternoon, everybody. I would like to introduce you to the revision and preparation content for the expert witness vocational training course. The first thing to do is to get yourself successfully to the right point on the website. So visit us on our website. If you don't have the web address, or if you battle in any way to get to this point, please feel free to reach out to us and we will help you to get to the right point on the site. You will see under Learning Hub, there are two courses which are currently up. We're going to go to the first one, which is the South African Medico-Legal Reports Expert Evidence Vocational Training Program. Quite a mouthful, but you will see that we are going to try to make this as accessible as possible. There is quite a lot of material which needs to be covered, and I think the first point to make is that one of the purposes of the preparation and revision material for the expert evidence training course is that it is designed to look at what stream you want to go into. So if you just want to pass, if you've got a busy practice, you've got minimal time, but you do want to know the essentials and you want to be accredited with us as knowing the essentials of preparing and presenting expert evidence, then if you work carefully through the review and preparation materials, which will be rolled out over the next few weeks, then you will be able to get a pass mark if you know those materials well. I just want to emphasize that those materials are distilled. You'll see that we take the entire course and we really reduce it to its essence. So you will be able to pass on the review and preparation materials only, but you will have to know them well. We will then do an additional session where we will take you from a pass mark to higher honors. So, for instance, a distinction, cum laude, or even summa cum laude. I must warn you that that will be challenging, and we will see how many people manage to achieve that level. If you want those distinctions and that accreditation, particular accreditation behind your name, you are going to have to know that additional material well, and the standard will be deliberately high. Let's just have a look then. Once we're into the Learning Hub, you'll see we have the course content, revision and preparation for the Expert Evidence Advocacy Training course. Now, the first thing to look at is Introduction to Review and Preparation, and then we have Review Session 1, Principles 1 to 15. Now, we will see within a few minutes that we are going to add additional content over the next few days and week or two, where eventually we will have 5 review sessions. So at the time of recording, we've just done the first review session, just so that we can demonstrate to you how this works. You then go to the Introduction to Review session, and you will see the infographic that will come up in that introduction. What you then do is you can download that infographic. You can enlarge it on the screen if you want to do it that way, and we'll just work with it that way. But you can download all of the review materials. So you can download them, file them. They are done in multiple colors, so that this is all designed to aid the learning process. So we're doing as much as we can to prep you to do well in the assessment. At this stage, we're on your side. When we assess, we will be far more neutral and objective. But at this stage, we are trying to get you to understand the materials so that you can do well in that assessment. Now, let's just go through those particular items. In order to prepare for the assessment, there will be 4 review sessions, which will cover the main principles dealt with in the course materials. That's what I touched on a few moments ago. This is a distillation of the training materials. You'll see that in the 4 sessions. Then there will be a 5th session, which will cover materials which will need to be mastered in order for participants to secure a distinction, cum laude or summa cum laude. As I said, that will be more challenging material. We will expect quite a lot of you to do well at those three levels of distinction. Then there will therefore be 5 review sessions in total. There'll be 4 core review sessions. Those are the 4 sessions to basically get you between a pass mark and around 70, maybe even 80% you could get on the core review sessions. Then to get those the additional 20 to 30% will then come from the 5th review session. So if you're just going for a pass, then I would suggest that you just concentrate on the 4 sessions. If there's a fifth session, then if you want to go for a distinction, then you must do the 4 sessions plus the review session. Okay, very important that. Then, so if you want to go for a distinction, cum laude or summa cum laude, you're going to have to do all 4 to a high standard, and then you're going to have to do the additional material as well. If you're just going for a pass, if you're just focused on the first 4, you will get between 50 and 70 odd percent. All right. Prepare with confidence. Master the key concepts and principles to perform with clarity, integrity, and professionalism. So that's the goal of the course. We want to get you to perform in that way, but we want you also to prepare with confidence. As we say, we're on your side. We really want you to do well. Honestly, we do. We take great pleasure in learning and imparting this information and uplifting professional skills and competencies. And that's why we've gone the extra mile with this revision and preparation material. Then let's have a look at the dates. So review session 1, Tuesday the 9th of June. I'm recording this video on the 10th of June, so review session 1 is already out. And then we have the dates of the additional review sessions. And then I just want to draw your attention to the assessment release date is Thursday the 25th of June. We've had some queries about that. The release date for Thursday the 25th of June is the date that the assessment will be released. You're not going to sit an exam as such. You're going to have an assessment which will be done online, and that will be open from the 25th of June until the end of July. By the end of July, we will close the assessment, and we will then submit those that have completed the assessment. We will then complete those assessments. We will mark the assessments, and we will then send the assessment results to the HPCSA, and we will also go through the accreditation process with us, and those that successfully pass or get a distinction will then be identified as such. So you've got until the end of July. To recap that, the assessment will be released 25th of June. You've got until the end of July to complete the assessment. You can do it earlier if you want, but by the end of July, assessment completed. We have had 1 or 2 queries for extensions. We always try to accommodate people within reason, but please understand that we will close the assessment at the end of July, and we will submit in the interests of the group so that everybody else gets their CPD points. Those stragglers that are going to get extensions, you will then be independently vetted, and we will then slot you in when we can, as soon as we can, but you will not obviously be part of the main group going out. So if you really have a problem, please contact us, and we will certainly do everything we can to assist you. I just want to take you through the 4 review sessions and the contents. So you've got part 1, and I'm just going to go through part 2 as well, and then review session 5. All right, so part 1 is the preparation for trial part, and that will cover 30 key concepts and principles governing preparation for trial, and we'll deal with those specific topics, which you will see you should recognize if you've been attending the tutorials. You should recognize all of those principles and topics from the tutorials, and you'll see them all listed there. So 1 to 15 is already out. 16 to 30 will come out in session 2, and so on and so forth. We will then turn our attention to part 2, which is presenting evidence at the trial, and then we will have a look at part 2 and all the various aspects of part 2. We will put review materials out, and then we will have review session 5, which is distinction cum laude or summa cum laude aspirants. We'll then be able to have a look at that. That is an advanced review covering materials which must be mastered to achieve a distinction cum laude or summa cum laude. All right, so that in a nutshell is what we will be going through the next 2 weeks. There will be content released. Please familiarize yourselves with the content. We will guide you on each of those reviews, particularly when we get into part 2. We will guide you as to what exactly you should be familiar with, and we will provide that content, and we will also provide summaries relevant to those various streams. Okay, I hope that clarifies things for you. And if you do want to, please reach out to us directly. Please, can I ask you not to post directly onto the groups if you have queries. Rather, direct that to Eleanor or to myself, and we will deal with your queries individually. If we think it's relevant to the group, we will then post it on the group. So please familiarize yourself with the group rules in that regard. We try not to clutter people's WhatsApps up with information that is not necessarily relevant to the entire group. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video, and good luck with all your preparation. And I'm hoping that it will be not too painful and very rewarding. Thanks very much.